All right. Good morning, everybody. 7 a.m. tap in. We're going to mix things up a little bit. We're going to start today with our actual movement, the bounce. So let's just start with the bounce. Okay, you can get your arms, you can have them just shaking out. So starting today with our bounce. So this week is all about karma. This week is about karma. So what is karma? Right? Cause and effect. It's conscious choice making. That's what karma. That's in a nutshell. So conscious choice making. What does that mean? It means we make our decisions consciously, and so many of us, and that's why karma, we create bad karma or good karma, is we make decisions unconsciously. Okay, let's shake it out. Let's just shake out one side. So let's say somebody annoys you, right? Somebody does something to annoy you and you get annoyed, and that's usually an unconscious reaction to it. But we always have a choice. Let's shake out the other side. You don't have to be annoyed. You're going, well, yeah, they know I don't like that they do this and they do it again. But it's a choice for us to be annoyed. If we consciously lean back, let's march it out and go, do I have to be annoyed? We don't have to be annoyed. We may be experiencing the feeling of being annoyed, but we can make a conscious decision not to be annoyed. Okay, so that is what this week is all about. So let's bring those knees up. Karma is cause and effect. What we do, it's the action. What we do always creates an effect. So in simplest terms, it's, well, if you eat a lot of junk food and you lead a sedentary life, the effect of that is going to be, well, you're going to be unhealthy, or you're going to gain a lot of weight. You're going to be overweight, right? So there's the cause, right? Because I did this, this is the effect. Okay, let's tap into the belly. Just create all this movement, right? Tap in here, front, back, sides. Let's create some good energy. I want to mix things up a bit. I want to get your brain working in a slightly different way. Okay, and then let's come all the way down and then come all the way up. And so we always hear, I'm creating good karma or creating bad karma. And it is by our reactions and how we react to different life. We are the only ones who can control our own karma go behind the choices that we make. So this week is all about conscious choice making. Let's go down on the outside. So this means, last week we would have created some good karma for ourselves. If you followed through with the intention of last week, let's just rub our hands together, of giving out what it is that you want more of, that would have eventually comes back, created some really good karma for all of us. So it feels good, right? And we've created some really good karma. Okay, let's shake that out. So let's tap in under the eyes. So take a couple of deep breaths in. So how do we do this? What this means is we have to be aware of all the decisions that we make every day. And so this week, I'm going to ask you to set an intention to make conscious choices and make conscious decisions. It means with those people that may annoy you, not to get annoyed. Take another breath, inhale. Or worry. This is our word points. I'm going to choose not to be worried. Okay, let's go right here. Tap in. All of our energy is moving in the right direction. So this means that we need to lean back, just take a step back and ask ourselves, what are the consequences of me taking this particular action? And yeah, I know when we're in the heat of certain things, that's a lot tougher to do. But when you've been practicing, meditation, when you've been practicing non-judgment, when you've been practicing, this energy of giving and receiving, it becomes a lot easier to stop yourself, right? And remember the stop, take a few breaths, observe and proceed, and ask yourself, what are the consequences of me making this action? And then if I take this action, will it bring some peace to me or to somebody else? Let's tap into the thymus, big breath. So those are the two questions that we want to ask ourselves on a regular basis. What are the consequences of this action, right? So if you decide, well, I'm just going to continue to be annoyed with this person and they're going to continue to annoy you, what happens? We get this loop, and it's a loop of karma. Nothing changes, nothing, the relationship doesn't grow or whatever the situation is, and you can replace annoyance with anger. You can replace it with whatever, but you get in this loop of karma, and both are creating it, but we only have choice of our own karma. So we take a step back. What are the consequences? Do you want to stay in this loop of karma, always being annoyed or always being angry? And what kind of karma does that create out in the world, right? What is the effect of you always choosing this particular emotion? Let's tap in underneath. So this week, the intention, okay, we're metabolizing all of this information that I'm throwing at you. Big breath, right? The intention is to be very conscious of every decision that we make this week. Today, I am going to make conscious choices. Okay, so just shake that out and let's cross it over. Cross it over. Today, I'm going to make conscious decisions, and then just zip it up. So today, I'm going to make conscious decisions. Okay, so take a seat. We're going to sit down. We got some good energy moving through us here. Mind is open, right? We've switched things up a little bit, created some different ways of looking at things. Okay, so again, this week is all about karma. It's all about conscious decision making, your choices. So always ask, what is the consequence of me making this choice? And is it going to bring some peace to the situation? Is it going to bring peace to me? Is it going to bring peace to someone else? And you can replace that with, it is going to bring happiness to me or happiness to someone else. Again, going back to last week, giving, right? How can I give? What do I want more in my life? How can I give it? So these weeks, of course, always, have something to do with the others. So the one other thing I want to take us on is when we've created karma in our life. So whether it's past karma, if you're going, oh, yikes. Yeah, I've got a lot of bad karma around me. I've got a lot of these karmic loops. So karmic loops, when there's always the same reaction to everything, it creates this loop, which creates what's called a karmic debt. And in the law of the universe, which is it's just the way things go, there has to be right, what you sow is what you reap, is kind of that karmic saying, right? And it's like, well, how do I shift out of this, say, bad karma? I don't think there's any bad or good karma. There is just karma. But, you can say, oh, that person's created bad karma, or I've created some bad karma in my life. Or, like I said, we created some good karma last week by the giving and receiving. So you could, and most people, especially when they live in that fear, right? The ego that comes from fear, they suffer a lot with the karma, right? So this relationship that's in a karmic loop creates a lot of suffering, right? Or this decision that you make over here, maybe there's a decision that you have to make and you always keep making the one that's the one that maybe the wrong one, because it scares you to make a different decision, and that's creating a karmic loop. You can't get out of it. So there's this karmic debt that is created. So there is other ways. We could just go through life suffering and having to, balance out all of these karmic debts that we have. Or in that time that we learn to lean back and start to make different choices, maybe better choices for us, and create more peace and happiness or joy or whatever. You make the choice that lights you up. But then we've got this old karma that might come back at us, or this other person who always annoys you, let's say, keeps coming at you. And so there are two other ways, and I take this from Deepak Chopra and his 7 spiritual laws of success. So he says there's 3 ways for us to flip karma. So the one is the choice that most people make is to just continually pay this karmic debt with suffering, right? Well, I'm going to have to suffer because I did this, or I have to suffer. Well, yeah, okay, well, I'll take this because I did this, right? So we tend to do that. There's 2 other ways. And one is a way that we can transmute the karma. So how do we transmute the karma? The only way to get out of this loop, or one of the good ways of getting out of this loop, is again to lean back and ask ourselves, what can I learn from this? Right? Why is this happening? And not why is this happening to me, right? I'd say, why is this happening for me? But even just, why is this happening? What can I learn from this? Right? Why is this person always annoying me? Or why do I always get annoyed? Because if I'm always getting annoyed with this, it's something within me that I can learn and I can grow from. So if I actually take a step back, and whether this is, getting annoyed in traffic or angry in traffic or a relationship, but when we take a step back and go, what can I learn from this? We can and when we learn something from it, so at first you got to ask the question, but sit in meditation or go out in nature, go for a nice walk and go, why does this keep happening? What can I learn from this? And then once we learn, it's like, oh, okay. And then so now we've learned what it is. Okay, now I know what I'm supposed to learn from this, or now I'm starting to understand why this is happening, because I need to, maybe love myself more, or I need to set some boundaries, or maybe I need to give more, maybe I need to receive more, whatever it is. There's multiple reasons why things are happening in our lives. But once we start to understand why is this and are willing to be open to learning and growing, we've then created some good karma for ourselves. It's like, oh, that's why this is happening. Okay, so what do? We transmute that karma. Transmute it. I've learned something from this. I've now created a loop of good karma. I'll stay in this loop because every time this happens, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I'm going to lean back. What is the consequence? I don't want to go back to that karmic loop with this person or with this situation. I've learned something about myself from this, and I'm going to react in a different way. Beautiful way to transmute any kind of karma, whether it's past karma, whether just learn something from it. You can transmute the karma. Okay, the other one time is transcend. And so transcending karma is a way to just kind of wash the karma away. And this is done with sitting in meditation. Those, sitting in meditation, drawing into self-love, self-compassion. Right? You sit, maybe you want to sit in nature. So it's all of the things we've been talking about. Take that time to sit and just watch and observe your thoughts. Be out in nature. Be non-judgmental, right? All of those practice, being in silence. And when we do that more and more, we can't just transcend it at one time and go, okay, all my bad karma is gone. But when you do this on a regular basis, it's like washing, having a shower for your brain. It just kind of washes the karma away. Okay. So this is our week, and if you want a little bit more on that transcending and the transmuting, it will be all in the blog that I send out later on. But this week's intention: today I make conscious choices. right? And you can take that further, right? Today, I'm going to reflect and respond instead of react on impulse. I don't know. You got to set the intention that works for you. Or I will consciously refrain from judgment, whatever, right? Today is all about becoming aware of the karma that we are creating in our own life and what we can do about transmuting it. This week, make conscious choices. Have a great week of making really good choices and creating some good karma for yourself. Namaste.